Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nadia Moor, and in this video I will show you how to create this freeze frame filter. And I got this idea from Jackie Digital. She has her own channel in German, but I needed to update her tutorial because the sparkly art changed. So I'm gonna leave link to her channel so you can check it out, her content if you want. So let's close this project and click new project, black project, and let me pause and actually switch the video of myself and pause. And first step, we will create rectangle by clicking add object and searching for the rectangle. This rectangle is going to be named number 1. And now I'm going to click Command C, Command V to copy this rectangle for 4 more times. And now we are clicking here plus to create material. And this material is going to be number 1. And shader type is going to be flat. And for the texture, let's go to Camera, Texture Extraction. Okay, and now I'm gonna also copy this material 3 more times. So Command C, Command V, Command C, Command V, Command C, Command V 3 times. And now I'm gonna assign to the second rectangle, second material, third rectangle, third material, fourth rectangle, fourth material. So we have 4 rectangles. Now we should go to the patch editor. And now we are going to device and we are clicking on default pipeline, render path, and clicking to create. So now we have our scene render path get created and all objects are connected to it. We're gonna work with these 4 rectangles to make them look size, to adjust their size and scale. So I'm searching for the divide patch, divide, and for the second value I'm putting 2, and I'm connecting screen size to first value and screen scale to the second value. And now I'm searching for the divide patch 1 more time. And also putting 2 and connecting it to the first value. So basically these 3 patches, they take the size, screen size and screen scale, they put it inside of the divide patch and then divide it by 4 because we first divided by 2 and then we divided second time by 2. And now let's click on our rectangle. We have width and height. But with output, we have just only 1 value. So we need to unpack this 1 value into 2 values. That's why we are going to use the unpack patch. So unpack. And since we need to unpack to width and height, we're just going to use vector 2. So now we can see that this X is representing the width and this Y is representing our height. So now I'm going to our first rectangle and I'm clicking width and height. And I'm connecting it to our values. So our first rectangle got resized. Let's go to our second one, also width and height. Height is here, width is here, and let's connect width to X, first value with X we're connecting to the width, and Y we're connecting to the height. I'm doing the same again. Height and width. And the fourth times the same. Width and height. So height goes here because, and width goes here. So height and width. So now we have our rectangle's scale and size correct, but we need to also work on it, on its position. So for the first one, we want it to be on top and to the left. And let's look the position. The position is 0, 0. So we're gonna keep like this. Then we're going to the second one, and we want it to be on top, but to the right. Let me see why it's getting this height and width. Just making sure. Oh, so we have for the fourth rectangle, I connected a little bit wrong. I connected with not using X, I used Y. So now I'm gonna fix this problem. Okay, so now it looks correct. Just make sure this X value connect to all width, and this Y value connect to all Y. Okay, so now we see if you want the second rectangle to be on the top and right, it's need to have these values, 185 and 0. So this value is actually equals the width value. So we need to pack the width value and 0 by using the pack patch, and the vector is going to be number 2. And now I'm using the X value, and then I'm clicking on 3D position. And packing. Now the third one, we need to be on the bottom and to the left. And now we can see that the position using the Y value. So now we are going again, creating one more pack patch. We are making vector 2, and now we are transferring the Y value to our second value, and this way we getting the same values 0 like we had here, and now we are transferring them to this position. And the fourth one is needs to be on the bottom and to the right, and now we can see it gets the values from width and height together. So we creating third pack, and vector 2 also, and now we're transferring the X value here and the Y value here, and let's click on position and connect them together. So this way, when we're gonna resize the screen, those icons gonna be resized because they're gonna be calculated based on the screen size and screen scale. So let me move this a little bit up so I can group this. No, actually I need to move a little bit more so I can group these values and group, and let's call this group, let me zoom back, let's call it scale and size screen of our screen. Okay. After we did that, next thing that we should do is create our freeze group. Okay, moving this here, and actually camera texture down because I'm gonna work with it more for now. So I'm going to our camera, and I'm creating, clicking here on producer patch, and I'm creating this pink new camera. and I'm gonna work with this video recording value. So when the video starts recording, we need to send a signal, and to send a signal we're gonna use the pulse patch. After we send the signal, we need the signal to not work right away. We need for it to delay. So first time we need to do it, this frame is gonna freeze in 2 seconds. So we need it to delay for 2 seconds. And then we need to turn on, by using the switch patch, turn on our delay frame patch. But okay, so we're having the switch patch. The next step, we're creating this mix patch, and this mix patch is gonna mix the values that we're gonna put inside of it. And this mix patch is connected to the shader render path. And this shader render path is connected to the delay frame. And now we're using this delay frame and we're clicking make receiver. So it's basically like we're moving this delay frame in another position, and we don't have to have like these long lines. Okay, and now it's time to connect everything with the mix. So we have our camera textures goes on top, then delay frame goes in the middle, and switch goes to alpha. And now we are going to our material and clicking on texture to create this texture. Let me move it and connect here. So basically, if I would start recording a video with this filter, the first frame would freeze in 2 seconds, and we need to do it for each rectangle, but we're gonna change them in how many seconds it's gonna get freezed. So let me copy these values. I'm gonna do like this, probably zoom out. So I'm gonna copy from starting from the part of delay till the end except this diffuse texture. Okay, like this. Copy and paste. Okay, so now I need to connect this pulse with this delay, but second frame is gonna freeze in 4 seconds. So we're changing it to 4, and to the mix patch, as you see, the camera got disconnected, so we need to connect back. And now we are going to the second material and connecting this texture together. Also, all these materials that got created automatically, we don't need, we just need only 4. So let me one more time copy this part. And again, I'm switching this to 6 seconds because the third frame is gonna be freeze in the 6 seconds. And let me maybe move this camera a little bit closer. So now I am pulse connecting to the third delay patch, and also this camera I also connected back to the mix one more time. And now I'm going to the third material, diffuse texture, and connecting it together with this shader render path. And let's do it one more time. I am copy, paste, copy V, and now one more time I'm gonna connect this pulse patch with the delay, and delay I need to switch to 8 seconds. And now I need also to connect our camera texture to mix patch. And go to the fourth material. Connect this. So let me delete this unneeded materials that got created automatically. So if we would test this filter, it would freeze the frame for this one in 2 seconds, for this one in 4 seconds, for this one in 6 seconds, for this one in 8 seconds. But let's think, what if you want to add a lot to it? So for the LUT, you can get this fast color LUT from the link in description. It was created by the Joth Beckwith, and the link to his GitHub is going to be under this video. And also this Nadia Moor LUT PNG, I gave it for free in a Spark AR US channel. The link to it is also going to be in description. So this LUT, it needs to have no compression, and for the filtering should be none. Okay, so I'm gonna move this LUT like somewhere here, because I'm gonna use the same LUT for all these 4 different frames. You can use different LUTs if you want. And also I'm copying, dragging this fast color LUT. So since camera textures were passed to this mix and then also to the shader render pass, for the camera texture we're gonna collect it through this texture, and for the LUT we're gonna connect it like this. And now we are connecting to our diffuse texture, and this the first connection got disappears. And then we're gonna do the same for each of them. And if you notice that this one looks more pinkish and this one looks more, this 3 ones looks more yellow, because this one already has the LUT and this 3 doesn't. So let me do the same things for each of it. So again, to the texture, and by using the LUT, I'm copying this LUT one more time here, and actually one more time for here. And this LUT I'm gonna connect here and also here. And this texture, which stands for camera texture, I'm gonna use it connected from the shader render pass here, and the diffuse texture, and here also shader render pass, and this diffuse texture is connected. So now we have our LUT applied to ore for rectangles. Basically, this part is over, so let me group it together. To group it, I'm gonna put it in, I'm gonna highlight beginning from the delay, and just click group, and let's name it freeze frame group. Okay, but also it would be really nice to tell our users of this filter when we're gonna take the picture for them. So that's why it would be nice to create rectangle. So I'm clicking here, and rectangle, and this rectangle is going to be our timer. So clicking timer, and clicking plus here for the material, create new material. This also is going to be timer. And it's going to be flat. And also I'm going to, for the width, it's going to be fill width and fill height. And for the texture, we need to create animation sequence. So we clicking add assets, animation sequence, and it's going to be animation timer. And now I'm picking this texture, new textures, and I'm going to use this texture of 1, 2, 3, and then a camera. Here I'm going to put open. And if you want to use the same animation sequence, I give it for free here in Spark AR US channel. You just need to download this folder. So let me to come back to Spark AR. Timer, and let's use our animation timer. So if we're gonna play, it's gonna like play really randomly, not randomly, but it's gonna be really fast. So we need to actually adjust this timer. So I'm gonna pause. So first thing that we need to do is to make sure that we have only 4 frames per 2 seconds. So how we gonna do it? We're gonna go on to pulse, and then we're gonna call and search for switch. So switch here, and then we're gonna search for loop animation. And then it's gonna be 2 seconds. And also here is frame transition, 4 frames. So basically, when the video will start like recording, camera will send a signal. The signal will, using switch patch, will turn the loop animation, and this loop animation will gonna last 2 seconds, and during those 2 seconds 4 frames is gonna run. So it's gonna be 4 frames of the picture 1, 2, 3 and picture. And now we are going to our animation timer, clicking on current frame and connecting them together with the frame transition patch. Okay, and then also we want, after 4 times this loop animation runs, we want this timer to become invisible. So what we're gonna do, we're going to the pulse, and then we are searching for the switch one more time. And then we're switching to pulse. And we're switching offset. And now we need to search for the runtime. And connect it to the volume. And runtime basically calculates how much time passed from the moment that the filter started recording. And then we need to put less than, and put 8 seconds. So basically when the filter starts recording, like let me play it. So I'm gonna play it. Now you see seconds start calculating, and these seconds are passing to our first input, and they're gonna be comparing to the second value. And when there's gonna be more than 8 minutes, this offset is gonna work, and it's gonna make this timer invisible. That's, guys, basically it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Love you guys. Bye bye.